Hello, how are you going today? How do you feel in your body? I thought that I would get on and share some body mechanics with you if you like. So this is more of an understanding of the system of the car that you drive around, walk around, live in. Okay, so while we're on this journey and I'm in a little bit teacher mode today, we have been discussing different essential oils that we use, right? As a group, as a collective group, that's what we've been focusing on, talking about, those sort of things. But I thought that today, as a little bit of a segue into some of what is still to come this week, I thought I would talk to you about a few things that are really important because I want you to step inside, if you like. Okay, so all of us that are watching this, I assume, have a human body. Okay, we have a physical body that's got skin, might have hair, might have teeth, might not. Like it's a physical body: skin, bones, organs, and we may not necessarily realize what is going on inside it. Now, I have studied a lot since leaving school, but when I was at school, I didn't do biology. Okay, that was not my forte. I did chemistry and physics. So my journey with the human body has been accelerated once I finished all of the stuff that I used my brain for to do that side of things. Okay, I sort of had to dive into that. So for some of you, this may bring back some memories from when you were at school, because maybe you studied bio at school. I'm not sure. Okay, or maybe it was one of your favorite subjects. To be honest, I didn't like the teacher, so there was no way I was doing any of the subjects that she taught. Anyway, give you a bit of insight into what I'm like, what I was like. So what I wanted to talk about first was, and these are coming from textbooks, okay? This is assisting me to provide the information to you. I wanted to talk first about the levels of structural organization within the body. So what's that mean? That there's levels that things operate on inside us, okay? We've got the first level is the chemical level. I'm going to talk to you about chemical when we get towards the end of this video. It won't be very long. From the perspective of homeostasis, I want you to start thinking about molecules and I want you to start thinking about little chemical reactions, okay? But the very basic level is chemicals, right? Chemical level. It includes atoms, which are the smallest units that science knows about, that participate in chemical reactions, and molecules. Two or more atoms joined together is a molecule, right? Certain atoms, such as carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, calcium, and sulfur, as well as a heap of others, are essential for maintaining life. Two familiar molecules found in the body are DNA and the genetic material passed from one generation to the next, and glucose, commonly known as blood sugar. Now, there's a lot of talk around glucose, so just keep that in the back of your mind, right? There's two common molecules in the body. One of them is DNA, the other one is glucose. So, second level is our cellular level, so molecules combine to form cells. The third level is the tissue level. Tissues are groups of cells and the material surrounding them that work together to perform a certain function. Then we've got the organ level, so that's the fourth level. Organ level, different types of tissues are joined together. Organs are structures that are composed of two or more different types of tissues that have specific functions and usually have recognizable shapes, usually. The fifth level is the system level. So if you think about the system level, some of us have been talking about that. That's your nervous system. That nervous, or there's systems, right? Endocannabinoid is another system. There's systems. A system consists of related organs with a common function. An example of the system, also called the organ system level, is the digestive system, which breaks down and absorbs food. Its organ includes the mouth, salivary glands, the throat, the food tube, the stomach, the intestines, but you get it, right? That's the systems. So the systems are the organs organized in a way to perform a function, if you like. And then you have the 6th level, which is the organizational level, or the organism. I've got a little baby dragonfly dancing around the front window. Any living individual can be compared to a book in our analogy. All the parts of the human body functioning together constitute the total organism. Okay, so that's your first level stuff. The second is the characteristics of the living human organism. So we've got that level. Okay, we've got those 6 parts. Okay, that are the basic formation. That they are the levels of structural organization and body systems. So they're like your basic formation. Okay, the next level are the characteristics of a living human organism. So this is what means that you're a human. The basic life processes include, the very first thing that they include is metabolism. Metabolism is the sum of all the chemical processes that occur in the body. One phase of metabolism is catabolism. Throwing downism is another way to look at it. The breakdown of complex chemical substances into simpler components. So that is catabolism. It's breaking things down. I'm looking at all the other pictures, right? I get easily distracted by the pictures in this book, so I try not to do that. Okay, the second, so the first characteristic is the metabolism. So we've got catabolism and we've got anabolism. You would have heard of all 3 of those, right? Metabolic syndrome is a big word getting chucked around at the moment, and metabolism is a big thing in the health and fitness industry. Catabolism, talked about breaking down complex processes. Anabolism is the building up of complex chemical substances from smaller similar components. So catabolism is breaking it apart. Anabolism is putting it together. The second element or characteristic, if you like, is responsiveness. So which is the body's ability to detect and respond to changes. So we're getting a little closer to homeostasis there, right? The third is movement. So it includes motion of the whole body, individual organs, single cells, and even tiny structures inside cells. For example, the coordinated action of leg muscles moves your whole body from one place to another when you walk or run. But there's more involved than just moving the bones, right? The fourth is growth. So increase in body size is characteristic of human. Differentiation, which is the development of a cell from an unspecialized to a specialized state. That doesn't mean it's going to differentiate between people. Differentiation in this case means that one cell's going to be normal and then it's going to develop into something else, right? Such precursor cells which can divide and give rise to cells that undergo differentiation are known as stem cells. As you will see, let's not worry about that. And then the 6th characteristic is reproduction, which refers either to the formation of new cells for tissue growth, repair or replacement, or the production of a new individual. What I find interesting, I'm watching the clock when I talk to you, what I find interesting is some of these words have been ripped off, right? And you've just been fed one line of it. So take reproduction, for example. It doesn't mean that you're going to reproduce another individual. It means reproduction is repairing yourself, yeah? Now, the next point that I wanted to share was homeostasis. Homeostasis is something that we need to be very clear about because it is returning the body to balance. If you give the body what it needs, it will return itself to homeostasis. So don't mess with the system. I was going to use another word then. Homeostasis is the condition of equilibrium or balance in the body's internal environment due to the constant interaction of the body's many regulatory processes. Homeostasis is a dynamic condition, which means it's always changing because we are always changing. In response to changing conditions, the body's equilibrium can shift among points in a narrow range that is compatible with maintaining life. For example, the level of glucose in blood normally stays between 70 to 110 milligrams of glucose per 100 milliliters of blood. Each structure from the cellular level to the system level contributes in some way to keeping the internal environment of the body within normal limits. So there's a whole heap more stuff that we want to explore with this sort of stuff because there's a control of homeostasis, which involves a feedback system. That's a big part in terms of helping regulate your systems. You've got a negative feedback system and a positive feedback system. And then we go into what happens when you're imbalanced, right? When everything is out of whack, that inside section is not working properly. When your body's not working effectively on the inside, we're looking at disease, dis-ease, okay? Dis-ease, discomfort, dis-issues. Let's not get into the basic anatomy. Now, I want you to understand so jumping from that, right? Understand that there is then another layer in here. So very first thing that we talked about was chemicals. So let's have a look now at the chemical level of organization. So chemistry and homeostasis, and not chemistry as in we're going to blow everything up. Chemistry and homeostasis, maintaining the proper assortment of and quantity of thousands of different chemicals in your body and monitoring the interactions of these chemicals with one another are two important aspects of homeostasis. So not only is homeostasis about maintaining equilibrium within the body, you need to think about homeostasis as being this little dude that is meant to be responsible for balancing the chemicals and making sure that that they're interacting the right way, right? So this little dude's job is to make sure that your insides are working effectively and not just your abdominal insides, like below your skin or even on the surface of your skin. The job of homeostasis, Mr., Mrs., Ms., it, homeostasis, is to balance, okay? When we start adding things into the body, we start to modify the chemical balance. Because especially essential oils, everything that we put on or in our body is chemical, okay? It has a chemical structure. Everything in our universe at the moment that we can physically touch, ingest, smell, we may not be able to physically see it. So just bear that in mind, because when you talk about fragrances, you can't really see them. When you talk about the funky stuff that's getting sprayed on your garden, you can't really see it, right? You can't see radio waves, for example, but they have a structure. They do have an atomic structure. So everything that we do to the body modifies that level of homeostasis in some way. So today's video is just about getting you aware of what you have your hands on, what you are in, what you are walking around in, and then like 13 minutes worth of me talking to you, so probably had enough. From there, but what I want to do is I want to explore homeostasis, okay? I want to talk more about balancing the body. Really need to talk more about this because stress is something that impacts the body, okay? And stress can come from a variety of sources. It is often always on the outside, which has triggered a reaction on the inside. Now, stress may be exactly what you're thinking of right now, maybe stressing you out. Stress is mental stress, stress is financial stress, stress is physical stress. Stress is stress, okay? Stress was a word that was created by humans to put a label on something, which means that it's freaking you out. It means that something is not right. It's causing issues. So if we think about stress and we look at homeostasis, we don't want to eliminate stress because physical stress can assist our body to change and adapt. Mental stress can assist us to change and adapt. Financial stress assists us to change and adapt because we have to find ways to care for ourselves. We live in a world at the moment that is material based, right? There's this thing of exchange called money, which is a part of the finance sector. And financial stress, I see it. It's a big impact on people, huge impact on people. And then there's human stress because we're arguing with other people and stuff, right? Emotional stress. So anyway, I want to make sure that we are aware of that one as a biggie. So if you go back to this video, you're going to learn about the basics of what it is to mean that you're a human, what it is that you have very, very simply happening on the inside in terms of what are the little components to you, if you like, and then knowing that in order to organize, to keep your shit together, in order to get your ducks inside, let alone in a row, we want to be aware of this thing called homeostasis. So that's your video for today. Sit with yourself. Marvel at what you're in, regardless of how it feels, how it looks, or what it's doing. Just be amazed at what you are, and start to make some notes, maybe journal on some things, think about the things that we've been talking about, and prepare yourself for what else is to come. Because the videos over the next few days are going to provide you with information that are now going to link back to this, in terms of you are going to be able to understand that when someone is talking to you about digestive health, it's a part of a system, and there is an interplay within your system that is either going to balance your body or put it into havoc. And maybe there's a solution if your body's already in havoc. And the same with pain. So if you're working through pain and you want some support for that, there's ways, and there's chemical constituents that come via plants that will help the body as well. Anyway, have a fantastic evening, because I'm 3 hours behind you, so not sure when you're going to get to see this, but I hope that you've had a fantastic day, whatever it is that you're doing, that in some ways you are able to dial down your nervous system, which is just one of the many systems. You're able to dial it down and to have a really good rest. And I will be seeing you tomorrow and over the next few days. All right, bye.